All right, so we're sitting here with a bunch of awesome dudes here from Double Scope Inspections, and you guys are located where again?
Brevard County.
All right, yeah. So more Florida guys. We love Florida inspectors here. And first of all, how's InterNACHI treating y'all so far?
InterNACHI's great, amazing,
A little close.
great, amazing. InterNACHI is great and amazing.
Yeah. Just say it again so that Nick
Yeah.
knows we love him. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So- yeah.
Pretty animated.
No, it's been awesome. So we got to hang out last night, and you guys were telling us a little bit about how you got started with home inspections and the area that you guys cover. But I'm excited to talk to y'all because Florida has been an interesting place to be a home inspector in the last 4 months. So how did the storms affect you guys where y'all are?
So the storms, what's cool is for some reason we believe in Space Coast. They built the Space Center there for a reason. So I feel like the storms doesn't affect us as much. Things shut down during the season, the storm itself, but it really hasn't affected the housing market. Would you say the same?
Yeah, I'd agree. But
Yeah.
so as far as oh my God, sorry. As far as being busy wise, yeah. I mean, if storms do come in through the town, people want to get their roofs checked out, want to make sure there's no structural damage. So work does pick up a little bit more in that stance. So, but that's a good thing all the way around. People are making sure their houses are safe. People, new buyers want to make sure their house is good for when they move in. But as far as I don't know.
You're good, man. Yeah.
So like I'm from Texas, and so much different construction because you guys build a lot of things more with concrete here, right?
Yes.
Just for those storm reasons and everything. But you guys do something a little bit different that we don't do in Texas, which I kind of think that maybe we should. But like 4-point inspections and wind mitigation, do you guys do that stuff as well?
Yes.
So how is that like in terms of your business? How much of it is coming from that kind of stuff versus full-on home inspections, like for a buyer?
So any homeowner needs a wind mitigation
For insurance?
just to get credit, and that kind of talks about how is the roof attached to the building, are the windows covered. So that kind of tells the insurance company what kind of credits they get.
Okay.
And then the 4-point, anything 15 and older usually, is the 4 main parts of the house: roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So it tells the insurance company what are the conditions of those 4 items.
Got it.
So
Is there anything else that's kind of specific to Florida? Because I mean, like I say, we don't do those in Texas, and definitely I think we probably should, at least in the coastal areas for sure.
So I know the homeowners. Yeah, I know the homeowners hate us when we go in there because we're the eyes that the insurance companies need,
yeah.
and we're the bad guys. So
Yeah.
we say this is bad, this is kind of outdated, so they don't like it, but it kind of keeps their house maintained,
Right.
not by choice.
Understood.
I was just going to say that the way we price a wind mitigation, it's free with a home inspection. We include that with a regular home inspection.
And so let's talk a little bit about that because every home inspector is a little bit different. Like right now, I was talking with some friends of mine up in Tampa, and he was just asking me, he's like, so what are you charging right now for your wind bid? And I told him, but he was like, dude, we just raised our rates. So like, are you guys raising your rates on the West Coast or the East Coast too? Or
We did, but now it seems it goes like this. And now, right now, it seems like the clients are now starting to complain about the rates. And we're not high and we're not low. We try to stay at the middle side, but I'm like, you can't complain about it. So $5 is good, but then eventually we might have to go back $5 depending on the market.
yeah, I mean, you want to keep the work coming in, but you don't want to, be short selling yourself at the same time,
Yes.
obviously. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And honestly, guys, this is one of the reasons why I feel like InterNACHI is pretty awesome, simply because you can come to a place like this and it's more of like a mastermind thing. It's not just to come out here. It's not just to get your CE courses done. It's not just to hear about the latest and greatest tools and tech. But I mean, we get to talk shop a little bit too, and kind of like compare
camaraderie
notes.
between. There's people here from our county, Honors and Fogarty. They're great too, and it's good to still. We don't always get to talk to them because we're so busy with life. So it's kind of good to get ideas. We heard some of your stuff yesterday, so that's
Yeah, I mean, I've got, my friend Chris Murphy. I see him running around in here. I don't even see, he inspects in my area. I only see him at conferences.
Yeah.
That's when we see each other usually, you know. But yeah, the networking I think is huge, right? To build that network of people that you can rely on to ask questions or to refer, and to learn from. Because I think like the learning, we have the CE courses, and we can take those. We can learn from them. We can learn from all the vendors in here. But the networking and the continued education, mind you, we don't get credit for it, but that you get by continuing that networking after the conference, you know, with people that you meet and you get to learn from them online or anything like that. I really enjoy myself learning about what people are doing in different areas of the country because it's very different. The types of construction are very different. I would be terribly nervous to take on, like if I moved to Florida.
Yeah.
You did that. You moved to Florida. Like, how was that for you? Like whenever you started a business after inspecting somewhere else, and then you started in the home inspection business in Florida. That had to have been very strange.
So are you guys all local down here? Like you've been here the whole time, or?
We came from Ohio. We came from Ohio originally. So that is a huge difference from up north.
Just a
down
little
south.
bit. Now you're not the only Ohioans to move down to Florida, obviously, you know. But yeah, it's definitely different when you're like coming from one market to the other. And I say that simply because everybody from Ohio and Michigan, and they all come to Florida. This is what you
It's
do.
paradise. It is paradise.
Yeah, seriously, everybody's here. It's if you're from up north and you speak, you have that what do they call it? A Midwest nice way to you. Yeah. That's you end up here. So, but no, moving down here, it was a little bit different. And I don't know if you guys had to deal with this as well, but there were courses that didn't transfer, and even though I have done hours and hours and hours over 8 years of CEs, I still had to do the full required 120 course load that Florida requires.
Right. Yeah. So at the time, Ohio didn't require. They do now, but they didn't require that. And so we didn't have that issue. So then we come here, which I think I'm glad they did because people were inspecting and not doing.
Had no
their
business
job.
inspecting. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Licensing is a good thing.
And you're from Florida.
Yeah. I'm from Florida. I've been born and raised. Just being me and my dad started this profession. I was a 10-year roofer prior, and then my dad was a 40-year contractor, and so he was getting ready to retire. I wanted to change my game, so looked up how to be a home inspector and came across InterNACHI and went through the website. I mean, everything right from the beginning was just, you can't beat that. I mean, it was a nice setup, and jumped on it. First course was the roofing course. I'm like, I know this stuff. This is easy. So
How did it actually go?
yeah, it's just like that. I mean, I'm
was
like,
the
oh man, I got through the terminology. I'm like, I know that. Got to the first quiz, know that. I'm going to keep going. Like I said, it was all a good setup. My dad got on board, and then we were actually going to do our own thing. We actually started our own business, JBR Home Inspectors. But later on, before we could officially get started, we ran into these guys, and we just saw great opportunities. And with these guys, we're like, no, these guys are good and everything.
So you bailed on your dad for these guys, which is
Well, he actually works with us too. Okay. So we just saw a great.
Just see it.
Yeah, just saw great chances with these guys, and they've been good to us ever since. So
Yeah. So what's cool is we had their skill set, which would definitely help double scope it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about a growth. So they are the JBR team of
Double scope.
Yeah.
So let's talk about double scope for a second. Like, what's the name? Where does that come from?
So double scope has dual meaning. It was founded by my twin brother and I, and our cousin, and from Cleveland. And then we also show up with 2 inspectors. Get in and out within an hour and a half.
Every inspection is 2 inspectors.
Correct. Sometimes the bigger houses,
more, yeah.
we have 6 inspectors if needed.
I mean, sometimes it's 2 with me with my multiple personalities, but you know, it all depends on. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Mom. Yeah. No. But no, let's definitely talk about last fall. Actually, last fall and winter. I mean, September and October were just nuts. On my side of the state, because it was a direct hit on Bradenton, and which is where I'm based out of. But the wind damage there, the flood damage was absurd. And with the first hurricane that came through, I think it's Helene, right? We had massive storm surging that caused excessive flood damage. With Milton, it stayed south of us. So then we were on the north side of the storm. and we get all the high wind that came off of that, right? So we missed the surge the second time, but then we got the wind. And so then we had major wind damage with roofing, siding, eaves and fascia, all of that. But what did you guys have happen on y'all's side of the coast? Was there any major damage that you had to deal with?
Honestly, both. One went north and one went south, and we didn't. Some heavy rains. I mean, we got lucky that none of it really affected our market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a disaster area on our
Yeah.
side. But how did it look for y'all?
it was nothing. The sun was shining. We're like, is that the same? It's right there, and it did not affect. I mean, like I said, sometimes you did have some heavy rains, some hail, but nothing like your spot.
Not total destruction.
Yeah.
In Florida, we have weird weather, so you could walk out your front door and have rain, and walk out the back door and it'll be sun shining. So
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've been here for a few days, and it's definitely the case.
Yeah.
It's temperamental.
And we're here now because of what you're talking about. Like, this was supposed to take place in October, I think, right?
Yes.
And we're actually here in what is it, February? February.
And that's why we were like, are they having it or are they not?
Right.
Are they having it? Or are they not? And Orlando's only an hour from us, so we thought for sure Orlando got hit. We're going to get hit, and it didn't really.
It's
hit.
crazy how that happens, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I say, coming from the Houston area, you know, we're relatively close to the coast as well, and we definitely have not nearly the extent as Florida, but we definitely deal with our fair share of storms, hurricanes, things of that nature, and we've had some really bad ones. But it is crazy how, like, it'll skate around certain areas.
Yeah, Houston, you guys just got.
We got a pretty barrel came through a few months back, and a lot of wind damage. It didn't bring with it a ton of flooding like it happens sometimes, but a ton of wind damage. Trees down everywhere, roofs just destroyed. I mean, it was devastation
Yeah.
from the wind damage.
So
Take a drink of
I have a question for you guys. So in Texas, how long does a roof last? Because I know the heat tears up the shingles here in Florida, so
Yep.
I know it's hotter over there.
It's a great question. I think it's probably very similar. You know, we're talking about composition asphalt shingles, I take it, right?
Yeah.
You know, they still, some new construction, you'll still see some 3-tab shingles out there, which is just insane. And then, of course, we got the architectural stuff. They're rated for, 20 years for the 3-tab stuff, and they're rated for 30 years for the architectural stuff. We do not get that out of them, for sure. I would say the storms play a big factor there, but the sun is just brutal, right? And people really don't account for the amount of damage that's caused by this big ball of fire in the sky. It really does some damage to roofs. And so I think with if you get some proper maintenance, periodical maintenance on an architectural shingle roof, you're looking at probably a maximum of 18 to 20 years. That's with maintenance.
So
But if you don't get it maintained, or if you show up like, on a 12-year-old roof that's never had any maintenance on it, I mean, it looks bad.
So we noticed there was somebody paid extra for the presidential shingle that's supposed to be a 100 or 50-year shingle. Same thing, 15 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they say the rating is down here. I mean, the sun just cooks it. So I inspected up in D.C. and Northern Virginia for 8 years, and up there, a 25 to 30-year roof is a 25 to 30-year roof. Right. You have shade from trees, fluctuations in the seasons. Really, the hottest time of year is only going to be maybe 2 to 3 months tops. But down here, where it's hot from June to December, I tell people all the time, they're like, well, that's a 30-year roof, right? And I'm like, anywhere else but here, it's going to cook through it in about 10 to 15.
So insurance companies used to just drop people when the roof was 15 years old. But DeSantis passed that law in 22 that says if a home inspector says you got 5 more years, they have to honor it. They don't.
They don't at all.
They give it 20 now, and you have to have SWR and certain other things, which isn't even in the law. Is that the same in Texas?
They're also still putting new roofs on new builds without SWR as well.
What is that?
It's a secondary water resistance.
SWR, yeah.
And it goes between the sheet. It's to cover the cracks of the sheeting.
Okay.
The sheething. So if the shingles blow off, it'll still be protected.
Right.
It's like roofing filter.
Right. I understand what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I just don't think I've ever heard it called that.
So does the insurance companies give Houston area a hard time with that?
No, not really. Not that I know of, or at least it doesn't really come into effect.
You
with
guys
us,
don't do
because we
windows
don't.
or
Yeah,
floor
we don't do that. You guys do fortified roofs at all? Are you familiar with like fortified roofs? Do you ever inspect fortified roofs? Or I think you have to have some type of special certification to do.
Talking about built on membrane or?
No, it's like there is a fortified roof system. It's a different way of installing a roof, and it's a certain rating based on how it was installed, how it was fastened, and what fasteners that were used. You ever heard of that?
We might be ignorant to that.
Yeah.
No, I've not heard of
it's,
that.
It's a pretty interesting thing. Look, check it. I think you have to go through some training, and like you have to be, inspectors have to be present while the roof is being put on to be able to approve it to be a fortified roof.
Not
And,
a building inspector, an actual home inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, anybody with experience.
During the whole process and make sure it's done
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, and then I don't know what the benefit. I think there's some insurance benefits to having a fortified roof, but just durability, and especially in areas like Florida and Texas, the durability of a fortified roof is supposed to be significantly better. I was thinking about looking into this recently. I don't know a whole lot. That's the reason why I was asking.
So that's proof that home inspectors don't always have the answers. We're still learning as well.
No, that's actually. I mean, I don't know. I was talking about this with somebody else today. That's a huge thing about home inspection. Like, the earlier you can learn it, the better. That if you don't know everything, if you can learn that you don't know everything, and no one really expects you to know everything, but you just have the diligence to be able to find the answers.
The jack of all trades, master
Yeah.
of none. So with the JBR team, what makes them a great asset is Joe has great roofing experience, and his dad has great GC experience. So now we got a GC and a roofer. We got another guy who's an AC guy.
So
got
two books of knowledge right there.
Yeah, it's
Well, and honestly, this is a good example of not knowing everything. There was more than I learned about roofing since I moved down here than I did in Virginia, just because when you have to go further in depth on a wind mitigation inspection, some of the construction standards that we have down here are far more robust than what you have up north. It just simply is. Just from hurricane tie downs, I mean, different straps, different brackets that we use down here.
Did you know that they no longer are? They're doing away with the clips.
Really?
They're using screws.
Screws
Red
now.
screws.
Yeah.
I actually really like that.
And you can't even see it.
Yeah.
So how are we supposed to inspect for that?
Re-drywall.
Yeah, that's the only time that you can do it. But actually, I think they're really cool, and they're a lot less expensive, and you can use them on every single one of them. I like it. I like
Me
it.
personally, I don't know how one screw going up can hold it all down like a clip, but
I mean, what's the length of the screw?
uh,
Oh yeah, they're massive. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
I'll show you a photo later. But
Yeah.
And you would think it could snap or.
And the only way that you can inspect for that is if you do pre-drywall. So
Or
now, is this what they were meeting on about the wind mitts today? The new wind mitts, because they're coming out with like a new wind mitt form or something.
I heard that too. I heard that too, but I don't know.
Okay, so if you're a Florida inspector, I would love to know more about what's going on with the new wind mitt thing. I'm going to find out here, but chime in, sound off in the comments. We haven't even had a full beer. Okay, yeah, time out. Let's try that again. Sound off in the comments if you know what's going on with the new Florida wind mitt form. Seriously, that'd be cool. So
Kind of follow up with that structural bolt thing. If I must do the pre-drywall. There was a couple rare instances where I was crawling through the attic space to look for the straps or clips. I came across one that was misaligned with the truss. So there is at least some way to see it, but now that truss is no longer structurally sound because of the
that is a serious shiner, right? Like
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
And it's a problem.
Exactly.
that's a huge problem. So okay, look, go ahead.
I think insurance companies, once the house is built certain years, they automatically get the credit anyways. That first credit. That's why it doesn't matter if we see it or not.
Okay, that's why. Makes sense. It makes it a little more difficult, I guess, filling out the form, but at the same time.
No or undetermined.
Sure. Now, okay, so how many years in business one more time for you guys?
6 years.
6 years total. That's great. Now, what are you guys looking to do in 2025 to really take your business to the next level?
We don't want to share that with our competitors, but this last year we started doing mold. We do lead, water testing, sewer scopes. What we really want to try to do is up our social media game, and we're really kind of dipping into septic inspections now. But we can't in Florida do septic inspections as a home inspector. You have to. So we're trying to find that right person to help us open up that avenue as well.
I never had much interest in doing septic inspections.
It's a shitty job. Yeah.
But somebody got to do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was talking to somebody about ancillary services. You guys seem to offer a lot of different services. I don't. I do home inspections, wood destroying insect inspections, and pool inspections. That's about it. I don't do sewer scope. I don't do well and septic. I would rather just do another job, another inspection. You know what I mean? If I pile all that on, it seems I fear it will take me too long, and I won't be able to get to another job. So like they require someone in Florida like to do septic. You have to
You have to work with the septic company for 5 years.
So you're gonna have to open a septic company.
We got to jump to do that hoop. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're hire somebody to.
It's not like that in Texas. You just go through. I don't even think you have to have the training. I don't think you have to, but you should, right? It's like anything else when it comes to home inspection and things that are outside of your standard of practice. You just need to know it.
Well, the services like the mold test, you're already on the property, and the mold samples, you set it and go.
Now that you do need a license for, but I 100% agree with you. And I mean, you guys are probably in the same boat as we are over in Houston. Mold's a big deal.
Yeah, and
Many
then
people need that.
sewer scope, you can add that, drop it down, and
Sewer scope, I feel like would just be easier. Like when it comes to actually digging up septic. And again, if this is what you guys choose to do because the other competitors won't do it, I love it because that means that I could be the competitor that doesn't do it. You know?
Yeah.
I'll refer to you. I mean,
So our goal is to be the one-stop shop.
sure, of course, yeah.
And we also do termite, and so when they have to call the home inspector and call the termite guy, call the mold guy, call the septic guy, and call the plumber, they're tired. But when you double scope got it, let's call them.
But to what Matt was saying, I mean, you don't feel like there's like an opportunity cost loss when it takes, because I've done septic back in Virginia, which is it's very different soil, so it's hard clay up there. So I would have to probe for the box first. Generally, you know whereabouts it's going to be, but then actually locating it. And then when you've taken 30 minutes to dig down and you miss the cover by that much, and then you have to take another 30 minutes to dig further out, this exploratory septic, it took so long that I could have done another inspection in that time and made $200 more than what I did on the septic.
So with the team, it wouldn't be the one inspector doing that.
That makes
You
sense.
could send someone else to do the septic, someone else to do, the auxiliary stuff. Auxiliary.
So, as a team, how does that affect your pricing and like what you're able to do? I mean, if you're bringing out multiple people on inspections, I mean, your prices have got to be such that I guess hold on, with more inspectors, you can probably do more inspections in a day. Is that how it makes up for it?
Yes, we could. So a team could do 3 full a day.
Okay.
Where if I was by myself, two I'm dying.
Right.
Yeah.
Two's it. Yeah.
Right.
God, that seems. I mean, you guys obviously have it down. That seems like chaotic to schedule to me.
Definitely got an office manager and a secretary, client care coordinator. They're great. Without them, we would have lost our hair. Yeah.
I got to tell you guys that hearing your story and how you operate your business is different than any other home inspection company that I know of, and it's very interesting to me.
Well, appreciate that. Thank you.
But okay, so while we're wrapping up InterNACHI here, and so we can wrap up the interview, what are you guys really looking forward to taking away from your time here in Orlando?
This right here. Meeting new people and getting new connections. That's what it's all about here for me here. I love you, InterNACHI.
Well, Porch, I mean, once you already have your mindset on different things, I was turned off of Porch just because I heard things. But after discussing and actually getting some answers, I'm like, oh, okay. So meeting new people and new programs, I think that helps further our business as well.
Sorry, I got distracted by a phone call. What was the question again?
The question was, how's your beer? No.
Oh, yeah, it's getting low.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So we'll have to get a refill. What are you looking forward to taking away from the rest of your time here at InterNACHI in Orlando?
Same. I gotta say, with my colleagues, I gotta say the same thing. Just meeting new people. Learning kind of what we're doing now, learning other people's tactics, stuff like that. Just how can I better myself in a sense.
Yeah.
So.
How about you, Matt?
Man, it's always the networking for me. Like I say, it's not just about the sitting in the CE classes or anything. It's really the continued education from the networking all starts when you're meeting new people and visiting with them, and then that continues as you connect with them, after the conference. That's what I love.
Relationship. It's all about relationship.
What are you gonna say, dude?
I also like that every time they have these, they have the newest gadgets that we get to look at to make our jobs easier.
You don't think that I am going to be going and expensing a $200 10,000 lumen flashlight because we're here? Yeah,
Yes.
this is it. I want to look. If you don't have to put your sunglasses on in the attic because your flashlight's just not bright enough in my book,
Right.
Yeah. But to your point, meeting some of the vendors, this is one of the things that I've absolutely loved about it. This is actually why I work for Porch now. I'm still in the field, and yet it was at a different convention that InterNACHI would get mad if we mentioned back in 2019. I think y'all know which one we mean. But it was there that I kind of hung out with some of the folks from Porch. And a couple of years later, I reached out to them about a job for a friend of mine. And Stacy Rose goes, we don't really have anything for your friend, but we've definitely got something for you. And here we are now doing a podcast together. So, I mean, I've always found that it's like once you put a face to the name, you get to make that connection. That kind of just takes it beyond just the brand,
They put the good looking face. I see it.
I can't blame you, I can't blame you at all. That's why they pay me the big bucks or should give me a raise, one of the two. But anyway,
concur.
no, dude, guys, thanks so much for being here. Truly, it's been awesome hanging out. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to InterNACHI 2025.
All right.
All right, and thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys right here next time on
Right along.
You Got It.
Dude.